select few, the ocean is a portal to another world. The vessel to which one travels to this other world is a carefully shaped piece of foam with polyester resin, a can of spray paint, and 4 ounces of fiberglass. To achieve transportation into this new world, one must overcome various obstacles. All the great forces at Mother Nature's disposal: water, wind, heat, and the bone-chilling cold. The water, no doubt, leaves a residue in the mind of surfers, one that makes the surfer eager and willing to confront any of these obstacles in order to reach the perfect wave. What sort of feelings are worth the pounding of great masses of water on top of the body, and temporarily the loss of one's own breath? I have experienced the feelings that one gets on top of a perfect wave myself, yet, in my own ability, I found no words to describe this feeling. The answer to this question still evades me. What new world does one enter at the crest of a wave, feeling 4 ounces of fiberglass and paraffin wax under their feet, and what calls us back to do it again and again and again? Ah, the wonders of international travel. I hope the answer to my question can be found in the land down under. Dad's got the boards. All right, let's go to Australia. Sydney, Australia, known as the Emerald City. Personally, I believe one of the best ways to learn about a culture is to look at the art that culture has created. The capture of the ocean in all of its glory has no doubt been the goal of countless artists around the globe. However, I couldn't help noticing how many depictions of the ocean could be found by artists of both Aboriginal and European ancestry in Australia's art museums. 80% of Australia's population lives on the coast, so it's not a surprise that the ocean is in the mind's eye of the Australian artist. The next gallery I wanted to explore was a short ferry ride from Sydney. The gallery was in the town of Manly, a small town in a region known as the Northern Beaches. The Ripcurl Art Gallery featured stunning pictures, all focused on the ocean. The gallery attendant told me about the works, and I asked him, I said, "Are you Ralph?" And he said, "Yes, I am." Ralph told me that his store was in the original shop for the Australian surf brand Billabong. I was fortunate enough to be able to speak to Ralph about how his love for the ocean and how his love for art intersected.
Hi, I'm Ralph Kerle. This is my art here. The way I make my art is I go kayaking. I shoot with this little camera, compact. The reflections that I see on the water that nature offers up. And then I don't use any Photoshop. What I do is I take the file out of this little Sony compact camera and end up by producing large-scale works. And what you're looking at here, I've called Burning Outback. And if you look at it, people will describe an outback vista in Australia, you know, bright, harsh colours, sun, water, but in reality this is a hull of a boat. From here on up is the hull of a boat, and the colour that you're seeing here is the reflection off the hull on the surface of the water. I'm 5th generation Australian, quite rare in that sense. So that you grow up with water. You're thrown into the water as a baby. You learn to swim. We have world swimming champions all the time. We have world surfing champions all the time. So I think it's inherent in our DNA as Australians that you learn to live with water, and on the coast in particular, you learn to live with the surf and all the vagaries and all the dangers that are associated with the surf. And so therefore, I'm not surprised that a lot of artwork in Australia, photographic artwork, generally reflects that association with nature.
Talking to Ralph about his art was a great experience, and he gave me some pointers that could help me with the rest of my journey. He told me that Manly was the site that hosted the 1964 first ever World Surfing Championship. Ralph even told me that he skipped school to attend the event.
Kerle trims the board in the tube and gains maximum speed. "6'2" Mike Doyle issues a strong challenge with this spectacular point-scoring ride. Just look at him ride the nose. Jane Farrelly lends moral support to brother Midge, who is locked in by little John Richards. With copybook manoeuvres and relaxed style, Midge gains the most from the medium surf. The 7 judges have lengthy deliberations to decide trophy winners. Queensland champion Phyllis O'Donnell takes the women's title in an upset victory over Linda Benson. Midge Farrelly makes it an Australian double, defeating Mike Doyle and Joey Kerle in the closest international contest on record.
I had learned a great deal about the history of surfing in Australia from Ralph, and the next day I would learn even more. The next day I would learn about the origin of surfing in Australia, and how after its introduction, the country would never be the same. In 1914, Hawaiian surfer and swimmer Duke Kahanamaku introduced the Aussies to surfing. He brandished a 114-pound, 16-foot surfboard. Instantly, the country was hooked. Walking around the northern beaches today, it isn't hard to see that it still is.
That's our motto, actually.
However, surfing isn't the only activity Australians enjoy. Yet no sport has impacted the culture of Australia quite like surfing. With all the history of surfing in the area, I thought this would be the perfect place to start talking to surfers. I was lucky enough to be able to speak to 6 individuals who truly live and breathe surfing.
My name is Timothy. I've never been called Timothy, though, only when I'm in trouble from my mum. That was a long time ago, so now they call me Tim or Timmy. And my occupation is to have a good time at work and run a surf shop that's been in Manly for 30 years, and I've been here the whole time. My hair used to be brown, now it's grey. We have a good time. It's Aloha Manly style. It's iconic. If you haven't been here before, when you see this documentary, get down here because we're the best.
My name is Jessie, and I guess I'm the rookie here at Aloha Surf. I've been here only a couple of months, so I'm the newbie.
My name is Igor, and I'm sales person here in a surf shop in Aloha Manly, and a surf coach as well at Manly and the Manly Surf School.
Andrew Lai, and I run Dripping Wet Surf Shop in Manly, and I've done it for 25 years.
Yeah, my name's George Barton. I run a surf shop in Manly Beach, Australia.
My name is Taz from Manly Beach, and I am a surf instructor.
Grant Davis, retail manager, Ripcurl.
Ooh, well, when I was a kid, my mum hooked up with a surfer from the beach, and we went out to the beach, and I borrowed this blue single fin, and I went surfing, and I jumped off head first and hit my head and nearly knocked myself out. That was my first surf as a kid. And then I didn't start surfing for a few years later, but as soon as I did it, I was pretty hooked.
That's a good question. When I was probably about 8 years old, Dad would take me down to the beach, and we had a little Hanamex softboard, and I remember the buzz of standing up and riding waves and how good it was, and kind of all went from there, you know.
Oh man, I remember like back to maybe 80 something, 86, 87, when I see my family, my uncle and my dad, they surfing, and they like all these kind of brands from USA, like some lighting boats or stuff like this, some Gary Lopes model, twinnies, and I remember they come out on the water, and I always run to my family, and they're expecting, like, I always want to take the board from their hands and be working close to the shore. I remember to my family be pushing me, and they're very nice, they're very kind to me, my uncle, my dad, who being close to the shore, and then once I understand how to do it my own, or they can be peaceful on the beach, I will be hours on the same spot, just take all the foamies.
The older you get, the more you think and analyze things, and I think with surfing, in a way, you've got to just be like a child. Don't question, don't analyze, just get out there and just do what you can do. So yeah, like people are like, oh, what board should I have? What wet surf? Where should I go? Where? You just got to sort of blank it all out, just get out there and just see what happens.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like a never-land thing. Because there is no way, because there's many you can be surfing, and perfect is like a point break, and it's surfing wave after wave. There is no one wave the same each other. All the waves will bring you a new kind of feeling, because as much you ride, you always think about do something different and bring something different for you. So you always try a different line, different approach, different way to see the thing, and that's what makes everything magic. Like make it beautiful. It's a never-land thing. You don't want to get old, you better surf. You never get old. Doesn't matter your age. Like I'm 43 now, like in a couple days, and I still, when I surf, I feel like I'm 20s or even younger. I feel like a kid. It's cool.
I think surfing gives people this sense of calmness. You know, sometimes it can be crazy, but you know, just being out there in the ocean and being around people you love to be around, you know, helps you stay centered. And if you're having a bad day, you can just go in the ocean, kind of wash it off, and you know, it's more of like a cleanse for yourself, and you know, just keeping yourself in a good mental state.
I don't know if spiritual is the right word, it's the first thing that came to mind, but definitely like therapeutic. You know, like I think just getting in the water, whether like, you know, whatever's going on at home, or you know, if you're up late at night and you can't sleep or something, for some reason when you go out in the water and you just, I don't know, all your problems go away. I just feel like you can sit out there, whether you're catching a million waves in a session or you catch one wave that session, you know, you just, sometimes it's just nice to be in the ocean, be amongst the salt water, and you know, you can just sit there and you switch off and just relax.
Getting that perfect wave and there's nothing, and you get off the wave and it's like, what did I just do? It's like, God, I don't even, and it's that reactive thing of surfing that's the pure addiction, where it's just like muscle, and you're in that environment, you're not just reacting. It's not, you're not pre-planning. It's like, and all those years of experience are they're just coming out in you, and you're just like, this is all those years just coming out naturally, where, shit, what did I do just then? It's just your body and the mechanics. That's the pure, you're like, wow, and you pull off a wave, you're just like, wow. What happened just then? That was awesome. And you can almost not remember it, like a dream sometimes, but yeah.
When I was probably 9 years old, that was, you know, a feeling that I've never had before. But I tend to chase that same feeling these days by going overseas, going to exotic places like Fiji and Indonesia, and trying to get big waves where you can get conditions that you can push yourself in, and you know, feel a rush of adrenaline, and you know, put yourself in maybe uncomfortable situations, but it all pays off once it all clicks together.
The perfect wave, and you're just gliding in, and it's a sunny day, and you're on your favourite board, and you're just paddling and you're gliding, and you've got a nice big fast accelerating drop, and you're bottom turning, and you've just got this canvas. It's like being an artist, and you just have to do the best art you can do.
I had this kind of teach somebody, pass the feeling. It just comes some way to connect me with my past, you know, like with my childhood or my things. Keep me some way how close to my family or my old memories. And it's so good to see somebody learning and then understanding, getting the feeling. It's good. I just like sharing. It's a really good thing.
What would life be like without surfing? Not that good. I don't think I would enjoy life without surfing too much. There's a lot of good about life, but yeah, without surfing, I don't know, you'd be taking away a good chunk of what's good about life. So I don't know, boring. Probably more trouble. A lot more trouble along the coast if there wasn't surfing, I reckon.
Pretty sad. You think of people that don't surf, like people stuck in land, and you know, for example, in places like Russia at the moment, and you think, wow, that's probably why the world's so fucked up.
Tedious, because I don't like fishing. I love the water, so life without surfing is not to be contemplated.
Actually, I don't know. My whole life has been surfing, you know. If I'm not working in it, you know, I've been participating in it, helping other people participate in it. I actually don't know another life.
Yeah, well, I've never been a religious person, but if I don't get to surf every now and then, it's like I don't feel very happy. I don't feel connected to. I just need to surf, man. That's our religion. It's addictive. It's a healthy addiction.
It got manufactured into a sport. What are we going to do? Let's score them on turns. And then they used to score them on turns, and they went, nah, that's people are just turning and getting a point. Now it has to be style and great, maneuver and how radical they are. So even that changed. How do we turn this into a sport?
And you said it's a pursuit, and to kind of ask a deep question, when you're surfing, what are you pursuing?
Joy. Personal joy. I'm trying to find it in me. Walking out of that water with that glow, can't buy it. Surfed out, exhausted, had great waves. When you're getting into that shower, you can't buy that. You can't buy that feeling. It's just there.
After thousands of miles traveled, 20 hours on a plane, and lots of waves ridden, it was now time to answer my question. The ocean is the origin of all life. For the human eye standing upon the shore, the ocean is infinite, not only in size, but also in its cyclical patterns. The tide has risen and fallen long before us, and will continue to rise and fall long after we are gone. When the surfer is in motion, the surfer is not on top of the wave. The surfer, although temporarily, becomes part of the wave itself. The surfer feels perfectly connected to the seemingly endless past and the endless future of the ocean, perfectly connected to the origin of life and its uncertain future. The surfer sees all of time with perfect clarity and the present moment with the purest simplicity. For those brief seconds, the surfer enters a higher state of consciousness, into the heavens and all the beautiful things that they bear. Yeah, bro.